Hi guys, this is Courtney, our Lexis research attorney. Wanted to show you some of the intellectual property resources on Lexis today. So starting on the Lexis Plus homepage, you could access any of the key intellectual property treatises like Nimmer on copyright, Gilson on trademarks, or Chisholm on patents by typing the name of those sources into your search box. So for Chisholm, you can just type in Chisholm, click here, and it will take you right to the Chisholm on patents table of contents. You can also add these as a favorite by clicking this star icon at the top of any of the table of contents. And then if you go back to the Lexis Plus homepage, you can access those sources again really quickly from this favorites star over on the right. And then you see that Chisholm on patents. But I also wanted to show you that we have our IP resources are broken up into the top four-ish of those IP areas. So we have a copyright section, we have a patent section, we have a trademark section, and then also a trade secret section. If you go to any one of these, it'll be walking to that stack of the library where everything, all of the patent law cases, statutes, and everything are all in one place for you. However, we also have some IP practice centers, and our practice centers contain curated content. So if you click on those practice centers, I'm going to scroll down, and again, we can go in by any of the big three we have in here, the copyright, patent, or trademark. Go into any one of these, and you'll find you can run a search, and it's already narrowed by patent law, but we also have some of the key cases, statutes, admin materials, but then also some select, like I said, curated secondary materials and forms here. So if you're going in under patent prosecution, you have some specific treatises that might be of importance to you. Over on the right, you're also going to have Law 360 legal news. So for me, I call on an IP firm in Spokane. IP is not my background, but I rely on this Law 360 ticker to keep me abreast of any of the changing news. I also like this one down here below with this Mealy's. It just gives a great overview of what's going on in IP. If this is something that you're doing often, you can also say you're just only in patent. You're working for a firm that only does patent law. You can click on this homepage, and it's going to make this your Lexis Plus research start page. So anytime you sign on, you're going to just be at the patent page or the copyright page or trademark page or any of these other Lexis Practice Center pages. Back to the main Lexis Plus page, then again, I wanted to show you practical guidance. Now, practical guidance used to be on a separate platform, Lexis Practice Advisor. It's all of our practical materials. So those forms, those clauses, those checklists, those practice notes that are written by experts in the field for novice practitioners or someone who's doing this for this area of law for the first time. That's everything you need to complete a task from start to finish. And so if we go under practical guidance, specifically under practice area, we have all of our intellectual property and technology lumped together. Note that life sciences is also a big IP area as well, especially for patenting of medical devices or vaccines or medications. You could go under there as well, the life sciences, but I'm just going to go under IP and technology. And then what we see here over on the left are some of the key tasks that an IP attorney may work on. You can drill down on any of these to get a little bit more specific, or you can go ahead and you can expand all to review them all. So let's say you are working IP specifically related to music or motion pictures. We could go into any one of these different subtasks. And here what we're going to have over on the left, you can see the different materials available. We have practice notes. These are those articles that are written by the expert. So similar to have a supervising attorney on your shoulder or walking down the hall and talking to a trusted colleague. You also have different forms. So here are your boilerplate forms where you can pull up this form, fill in, let's just pull up the cease and desist real quick. Go into this form. It's got all of the boilerplate language built in, and you just have to fill in your party's information. They're also going to have drafting notes that are built in, and then these drafting notes are, again, similar to walking down the hall and asking your supervising attorney, what do I need to keep in mind when I'm completing the information in this paragraph? That drafting note is built right into that for you, and it might even link you out to some other relevant information that you need to keep in mind. So these checklists are great if you're working for a firm or a clinic that already has a forms bank. And so they say, go grab that copyright assignment that we've been using for the last 10 years, just fill in our party's information. Well, you can see if there's a checklist available on Lexis Practical Guidance. You can open up that checklist that's going to walk you through this transaction or this task to make sure you didn't miss anything. Also to make sure that your form isn't missing anything. So the same form that they've been using for the last 10 years may have become outdated. And all of the content on Practical Guidance is updated consistently. So you're going to always see a currency date of at least the last year. You'll see it over here on the right or at the top of the page. Going then back to the intellectual property and technology pod, I also wanted to show you, talking about staying abreast of any of the changes in the news. We also are going to have some evolving guidance pod, or you see that Law 360 pod in here as well. These are great for maybe you're trying to decide on what you want to write about for a paper class, a seminar class, or again, just staying abreast so that you can have those educated conversations with the experts in this field. You can check out those pods there and just keep an eye on those. So I hope that was helpful for you. If you have any questions as you get into your research, please don't ever hesitate to let me know.